You're watching Global Matrix Network Streaming.
Join us for a program filled with informational subject matter, entertaining celebrities and guests, and impactful discussion. Join us on Speak, Sing, Eat with your host, Pastor Danny Hudson.
And good evening, everyone. This is Pastor Danny Hudson with Speak, Sing, Eat. Thank you for sharing with us another day. This is the day the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. My words of encouragement, first of all, to you all is that this: whatever you dream of, whatever you think about doing, go for your dreams. I want you to understand that your dream is never bigger than the God that you serve. As a matter of fact, the Bible says that God is able to do exceeding and abundantly above all that you ask or think, according to the power that works in you. In other words, whatever you desire to do, God has already put inside of you the desire, the need, and all the tools that you need to accomplish your dream. So never stop dreaming. Go for what you want. And I'm telling you today that God will allow you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And with that being said, you may notice that I'm kind of decked out in my gear today, and there's a reason for it. I have a guest on the show who actually went for his dream. And I'm telling you, we're going to talk to him today. The one, the only, Calvin Megatron Johnson. Hall of Famer with the Detroit Lions. And I'm telling you, he has many accolades and one of the greatest hands in the sport of football. And while we're on this break, I'm going to break away for a minute, but watch some of these amazing catches and you will be amazed just like I am. Don't go anywhere. Tell somebody, Speak, Sing, Eat is on with Pastor Danny Hudson and our special guest, Calvin Megatron Johnson. We'll be back in a second.
Wow! Stafford, step it up, throwing left side, wants Calvin, end zone, go! Ball blitz comes, Lions pick it up, Stafford throws over the middle, wants Calvin, got him, inside the 5, looks, Stafford looking for somewhere to go, throws end zone up for grabs, Calvin, did he catch it? Oh baby, he did it again! Megatron with a score, Calvin went up between 3 Cowboys.
Calvin. Yes. David Baker from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Am I disturbing you? Come on out here. Step out here, Calvin. We got to do this outside.
Oh, man.
Good to see you, bud. Good to see you.
The BK $5 Your Way meal is here to make your choice easy and so tasty. Go straight to the Double Whopper Jr. with piping hot small fries, 4-piece crispy nuggets, and a refreshing small drink. Can you believe you get all this for only $5? The $5 Your Way meal, only at Burger King.
You're watching Global Matrix Network Streaming.
Comes, Lions pick it up, Stafford throws over the middle, wants Calvin, got him, inside the 5, into the end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
Wow, did you see those catches? I've never seen it done as great in my life. Again, one of the best hands in football. I want you to welcome to the show, Calvin Megatron Johnson. How you doing, my brother?
Doing great. Nice to see you at the weekend, so I'm smiling.
I know that's right. First of all, before we get into this interview, I knew that you were going to be special. My birthday is September the 29th. When is your birthday?
September 29th.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No said.
No said, right? But listen here. From Sandy Springs High School to Georgia Tech to the Detroit Lions, the Litnikoff Award, ACC Rookie of the Year, ACC Honors, the second pick in the 2007 draft by the Detroit Lions. Now, I want to ask you about that. Oakland picked first in that draft, and they were you upset that Oakland did not pick you as the first pick of that draft?
It was kind of bittersweet, I guess. Of course you want to be the number one pick, but obviously for me, I want to be close to home. I like being around my family so they can come see me. Obviously Detroit ain't super close to home, but it's 2 hours closer than Cali.
Right. Well, Oakland drafted Jamarcus Russell as the first pick. Well, we know what happened with that, right? Now, when you were in school, you can't believe everything you read on the internet, but I read this story, and you can tell me if it's true or not. But that you played baseball also, as well as football. But your mom told you to pick one sport so that you could also be academically sound. Is that true?
I don't even remember the exact conversation, but it probably went down something like that. Georgia Tech definitely wanted me to play baseball and football. But with the academic load there, I know myself, whether my mom was incentivizing me to or trying to get me to just play one sport or not, I would just end up playing one sport because the academic load at Tech is just absolutely it's difficult, just to say the least.
Well, I've heard that about Georgia Tech. That's why I went to a no-name school. It wasn't so hard. But once it's, let me just stay on that for just a second because I spoke with your mom. Mm-hmm. We know that your mom had a journey with cancer. Mm-hmm. And tell us how you felt when she first told you the news of that. When she told the family and told you that this was her diagnosis, how did you feel and how did you process that?
Yeah, the processing of that, it's almost just like losing your breath being sucked out of you, because then you don't at that when you first hear about it, you don't know. The first thing you're thinking like, okay, well, what's the prognosis? How much time? Is it stage 1, 2, 3, 4? Those are the things that go through your mind, so you can just really just understand like what kind of time you have left if it's that dire of a situation. Wow. And in speaking with her and watching her come through this and overcoming that, I'm very sure it's for the family as a whole. Not only her children, but, relatives and all, because we're all part of that family. As we were praying with her and she's doing well, and we're so glad for that. So you've done so many things, man. What's this Dancing with the Stars thing, man? You finished third in Dancing with the Stars. Tell us a little bit about that experience. Yeah, that was a year after I retired from the NFL. They were calling my phone up, trying to get me to come on the show. I denied them like the first 2 times because I was like, I don't dance. I don't do none of that. And then they kept on calling. Mom called me saying they calling her. And then Brittany, I asked Brittany, my wife, she was like, all she said to me was YOLO. At the time, you only live once. And I was just like, with that and my sister saying I couldn't dance, I'm like, okay, I got something to prove now that my sister's talking trash.
The challenge is on now, right?
What's that?
I said the challenge is on now, right?
The challenge is on. That sibling rivalry, that goes deep. So I had something to prove there.
Wow. So watch this now. October the 27th, 2013, you were playing the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
You had 329 receiving yards in that game. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I remember that. Remember all of that. Yep.
Were there any other receivers on the field besides you for Detroit in that game? I watched the video, and it was like every time he threw the ball, there you were. How was that feeling, man? Nobody's done that. So how did you feel about that?
Man, it was pretty amazing just to go out there and be like, and to put up more numbers than the other team by yourself,
By yourself.
You take that out. You sit back and look at the stat line. You see it flash on ESPN, and you see, 329 by my name, and probably like, 280 by the whole team for Dallas. Right. It's just crazy to be able to put up some numbers like that, and then a lot of it, it's just, honestly, it's just preparation. And it's a perfect practice, that goes into that day by day, just stacking good days on top of good days, so that when you get out there on Sunday, all the stuff that you practice, it just happens instinctually, Right, so, right. That game, it was a blur, but like I say, just from stacking good days on top of good days, all that stuff just happened instinctually. And, you put that good stuff out there in practice, good stuff will come out on the field,
Wow. So we saw that from you for many years. Do you think that you walked away from the game too soon?
No. When you walk away from the game, that's a decision from, you make with all your mind, all your body, and your family. And I say that because, I mean, I say start with mind and body. I mean, the body only has so much you could take. You know, we only get one of these things, one of these bodies. And for me, when you're dealing with pain and you deal with pain to get through just your off-season training, you know, it kind of zaps the fun out of what you're doing. So when you're not having fun with what you're doing, you're living in pain. I mean, in turn, that takes away from your quality of life, and it starts to eat away at your mental as well. So those things, those are the main. That was the reason why I left. And then at the same time, I was ready to start my own family too.
Understood. So you know, you and I can sit here and talk a long time, you know, and I'm kind of trying to get some questions in that I know I want to ask you. And there are two questions I want to ask you about the NFL. Number one, does Colin Kaepernick deserve a job as an NFL quarterback? And number two, can you speak a little bit on your thoughts about this Brian Flores lawsuit about black coaches in the NFL?
100%, yeah. All right, so first, Colin Kaepernick, when all that went down, 100%, he should have had a job in the NFL. The NFL has even come out to today and said that they treated that situation wrong. I mean, just wish we could rewind and they had the discernment that they have now to look back and be like, hey, this is not right. You know, but he got caught up in all the emotions. Obviously, the people that all the lobbyists, I guess you could say, for the NFL. Right. You know, the people with the money that are making those decisions or putting the pressure on the people that are actually making those decisions. You know, they kind of distorted what was really happening right there. You know, that what Colin Kaepernick was talking about wasn't an NFL deal. That was a worldwide. That was a nationwide deal. You know, that's what we've been dealing with for a long time. You know, not just black people, but people of color in general. So what he did, should he have had a job? 100%. The dude took his team to the Super Bowl. There's no reason why he should not have been on the NFL team. So, like I said, in hindsight, the NFL knew they were wrong. We knew that the NFL was wrong from the jump. But you know, at least they recognized that they were wrong. I just wish they would have maybe did something for Colin. And maybe they have. As for Brian Flores, you know, they have the Rooney Rule in place to make sure that teams, interview minority coaches.
Correct.
That's all it is. You know, I mean, and credit the Steelers for being innovative and being a trailblazer, you know, in this realm. But now we see that has to change, because you could easily just say, okay, you could easily interview a coach with the intention of giving it to somebody else just to meet that quota. It's just a quota they have to meet, which is just one. It's ridiculous. So It's unfortunate that, you know, the majority of the players in the NFL are black, are people of color, and you don't have any representation as coaches and obviously as owners. I mean, but then when you think about the ownership of a team, I mean, that goes back to when the NFL was started, and black folks, people of color, weren't affluent enough to be able to be in those positions. Okay, now we are, but now we still aren't as affluent as other races, as the white race in general. I mean, generally speaking, but you know, we have grown in those areas of affluence, but it's still the same old mindset that had that where the ownership is, put it like that. When you just think about it, those owners are all 60, 70 years old. You think about the time when they grew up. I mean, you would hope that they have changed, but the time when they grew up with a totally different philosophy from how people are viewed, from white people to black people, you know, back in the 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And even before that, some of the owners are that old. So, you know, you just hope that they've been able to change with the times and their mindsets have changed. But you can still see that, you know, with the things that happened with Colin Kaepernick, you know, that's some of that, you know, I'm not going to call her, I'm just going to call it racial bias, still exists.
Yeah, well, I certainly believe that, even though a lot of people don't think it exists, but it's still around. It's still around. So, So listen, we're gonna switch gears here, and we're gonna take a break here in a second and come back. But before we go, I want you to watch a little clip from Calvin Megatron Johnson's Hall of Fame speech. Watch it.
Solid. Yes. David Baker from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Am I disturbing you? Come on out here. Step out here, Calvin. We got to do this outside.
Oh, man.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Okay. God bless you, man. That's okay. That's okay. Were you watching TV? Am I disturbing you? You might want to press pause. Hey, Calvin. We couldn't get everybody.
Presenting Calvin Johnson for enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Derek Moore.
My journey through the pain began to reshape my view of the world. It gave me more empathy and understanding for those who suffer and deal with pain on a daily basis. It also motivated me to be someone who's focused on making a change on the issue. There are so many people living in our world with pain right now, and I want to speak to you for a moment. I want you to know that I see you, and you matter, and to fight and to do your best to make it through and never give in to the pain. I also want to take a moment to share about a few people who have been instrumental to shaping my journey. Rodney Walker, my high school head coach at Sandy Creek High School. You saw things in me that I didn't see in myself. You spoke confidence into me and solidified my parents' teaching by emphasizing the same principles. Derek Moore, my team chaplain for Georgia Tech and spiritual mentor. Mom, Marka Johnson. I'm thankful for your vision and drive. Her spirit leads her. Her drive pushes her to be the best at everything she touches. And not even a blow, such as pancreatic cancer, was able to dampen her spirit. It was such a sequence of events where I saw her faith in action. What a blessing, an honor, and an inspiration it was to witness and to have you as our mother. And by understanding that excellence alone does not come from wishful thinking or God-given ability, but one's availability to channel those wishful thoughts into action to achieve a desired outcome. In closing, I ask that you all join me in leaving your own legacy by helping to improve the quality of life for others in whatever way you can, because moments, people, and legacy matters. Before I end, I'd like to tell you, I never was one to celebrate. But all things come from above. And every time I scored that touchdown, all I did was point up to the sky. Because that's where all good things come from. And this right here, this is a good thing. Thank you all. God bless.
Beautiful speech, high class the whole way.
We're coming to the close of this session, and this show is called Speak, Sing, Eat. So we ask every guest this last question. When it's time for you to eat, what restaurant are you going to, or whose kitchen are you going to, and what are you eating?
Man, that's tough because I love to cook now. My favorite thing, what my family's been loving me cooking like lately, and we do it like once a month. We don't eat a whole lot of red meat. So right. I go downtown in Detroit and run up on it's called a Fairway Packing Company.
Okay.
And I'll go over there and pick up some Wagyu steaks, and I'll throw some soy sauce on them things and marinate a little bit, maybe a little season, a little mustard, and throw them things on the and reverse sear them bad boys. I tell you, my mother-in-law said she was going home. She was eating the steak with her bare hands driving home the other day. So it's that good. Like I'd rather eat my own steak at home. My family's the same way. They'd rather eat a steak at home than go out to the restaurant. So we just find those things that we love in restaurants, from like the roof crisp. We get the sweet potato casserole. We make that ourselves. We get the little Brussels sprouts with the bacon on top. We do all that stuff ourselves and try to eat at home, especially during COVID. We're trying to stay at home as much as possible. So really up my attributes when it comes to the cooking game.
Wow. So let the record show, folks, that I need to find out where Calvin Johnson Jr. lives, because there's nothing like a Wagyu steak. I'm going to tell you that right now. So let's hear Calvin Megatron Johnson, first of all, I want to thank you so much for taking time out to be on the show today. All that you have accomplished, your football career, you are a humanitarian, a great athlete, a great person in general. And I'll say to you as when we open up this show with prayer, we pray that God will continue to favor, God will continue to prosper your life in everything that you do. Take care of your family and all those that are around you. Thank you so much again for being here. And I want to thank the listening and watching audience for being on this show today. And remember, speak life to someone, sing a melody in your heart, and Lord knows, find you something good to eat. I'm your host, Pastor Danny Hudson. Until next time, this is Speak, Sing, Eat. God bless you. Enjoy your day.
Program filled with informational subject matter, entertaining celebrities and guests, and impactful discussion. Speak, Sing, Eat with your host, Pastor Danny Hudson. Thank you for watching.
You're watching Global Matrix Network Streaming.